There's nowhere left to hide.
Welcome to Pure Power Wrestling Power Slam here on Shaw Spotlight. My name is Sydney Steele, filling in this evening for Bulldog McBain, still about 1 week away from being cleared to return to PPW action. But tonight on Power Slam, two men that I know incredibly will go one-on-one, starting with this man, Travis "The Heat" Copeland. Now, Travis Copeland over the years has been one of my most fierce opponents. I know this guy can go in the ring, and tonight he has an opportunity at championship goals as he challenges Dewey Robson for the PPW Cruiserweight Championship. Travis Copeland, THC, a fan favorite here in Nanton, as PPW is coming to you from the Nanton Community Memorial Center. Dewey Robson, the reigning PPW Cruiserweight Champion, a man that I have stepped in the ring with a number of times. Once again, these two men, two competitors that I know firsthand, can go. Two of the toughest that Southern Alberta has ever produced, and they're going to go at it tonight for the PPW Cruiserweight Championship. A little bit of a mixed reaction here from the fans in Nanton, but I have a feeling by the time this match is over, they will be cheering equally for both men. Now, I've said a number of times, I do not like Travis Copeland. I do not like Dewey Robson, but it is damn near impossible to take anything away from what both of these men can do when the bell sounds. Both men inspecting that Cruiserweight Championship belt. Referee Curtis Barnum holding up the prize for everyone to see.
Let's do this. Bring that belt.
The bell sounds. We are underway. We are going. Here in Nanton, a handshake to start this match. Not exactly the way I would have started it, but I won't hold it against either of these men. The crowd behind Dewey in the early goings here. Collar and elbow tie-up. Center of the ring, THC goes behind. If there is anyone on the PPW roster who has perfected the fundamentals, it is Travis Copeland. Not always a flashy style of offense, but he is a guy that will break his opponents down. I have been on the receiving end of THC's offense, and let me tell you, it is fierce. THC, a man I personally despise, but when it comes to what he can do inside the ring, almost unmatched. However, possibly matched here by the PPW Cruiserweight Champion, Dewey Robson. Both of these men will be in action next week, as will I, as PPW returns to Lethbridge Live Saturday, May 21st with High Impact. And the night before, we will be in Tabor Friday night, May 20th. PPW returns to Tabor. Tickets and information available at purepowerwrestling.ca as Dewey Robson takes THC down with a beautiful textbook side headlock takeover. Really wrenching on that head. THC, though, able to get back to his feet. Forcing Robson off the ropes. Breaks that headlock Irish whip, but Robson takes him down with a running shoulder tackle. And Robson off the ropes. THC drops down. Robson able to evade, but not able to evade the hip toss. And the arm drag. Following it up. Oh, Dewey Robson reverses with a hip toss of his own and an arm drag from Robson. Both men looking for drop kicks. Neither man able to connect. Show of respect here from these two guys. Again, not the way I would personally prefer to wrestle this match, but I can't take anything away from the skill. THC with the go behind. Waist lock takedown, floats over into a front face lock. As I said, nearly perfect fundamentals from THC. Not the fundamentals that could beat a wrestler like Sydney Steele, but nearly perfect fundamentals. This crowd here chanting for Dewey to get up, reversing into an arm wrench, knee to the midsection. Robson driving the point of his shoulder into the previously injured shoulder of THC. Keep in mind, THC is about 6 months removed from a nearly career-ending shoulder injury. THC fighting back. We will have to see how much that shoulder injury may factor into tonight's match. Big elbow drop puts the point of the elbow into the chest of Dewey Robson. I'm sensing possibly a little bit of ring rust here from Travis Copeland. We saw just a few weeks ago in Lethbridge, hesitating, not sure if that shoulder was going to hold up for the 420 splash, and it cost him the match. Is that same thing going to happen here tonight? Again, maybe taking a step, maybe feeling it a little bit in the shoulder, allowing Dewey to get that boot up and take over with a big body slam. We aren't going to see any hesitation here from Dewey. Up over the top, dropping an elbow into the heart of Robson. Back press, hook of the leg, but only two. It's going to take more than that to overcome the toughness of a competitor like Travis Copeland. Dewey now going back to the shoulder, going back to the arm, working on the previously injured arm of THC. And if we see THC able to mount some sustained offense here, will that shoulder, will that hesitation come into play? Dewey Robson with a beautiful flying calf kick, putting THC down. Hook of the leg, side press, only two. Dewey Robson constantly pushing the issue, constantly looking for that win, that pin, that victory to retain the PPW Cruiserweight Championship. There is a reason he is Cruiserweight Champion. Again now, wrenching the arm, going to the arm. Dewey with a bit of a fight here. Irish whip is reversed. Dewey holds on. THC maybe thinking backdrop. Dewey Robson with a backdrop of his own. THC all the way to the floor. We are going to take a very brief commercial break. And we are back here on PowerSlam. THC still on the mat. Dewey Robson with a dive, dropping the elbow into the shoulder, but not the entire weight. Maybe holding back, maybe thinking a little better of putting all that weight into the dive on his good friend, Travis Copeland, but not thinking better of that. Unloading the elbow into the jaw of THC. THC now blocks the attempt. Couple of shots, and THC drives Dewey face first a second time into the apron. Now, kick in the face. And THC with the big flying drop kick to the face. Now, just about a minute ago, we saw a graphic promoting next week's match here on PowerSlam. I will not be on the call for that match. I would frankly rather that match not be occurring, but I will welcome you all to tune in next week to PowerSlam as THC flying over the top with an elbow, but not enough to put the champion away here on PowerSlam. THC so far has been able to recover, showed no hesitation on that flying elbow drop. Perhaps a few weeks ago in Lethbridge, he was able to shake off some of that worry, some of that rust, and a potential shoulder issue is not going to hinder him here tonight. Beautiful Falcon Arrow suplex puts Dewey Robson down. THC hooks the leg, but didn't quite have enough weight, in my opinion, on the shoulders of Dewey to get the win. THC with a big shot to the face. A little bit more of an aggressive side of THC than we've seen in the past. And did you hear the forearm to the chest? As I said, maybe a little bit more aggression than we've sometimes seen out of THC, a little bit more ruthlessness. Off the ropes and a drop kick right to the jaw. A cover, still only 2. Not quite putting the PPW Cruiserweight Champion Dewey Robson away. Trying to get these fans behind him, but they're starting to. They're starting to rally for THC. Most of this match, they've been firmly Dewey Robson. They're starting to rally a little bit for THC. Irish whip from Copeland. Ducks the line. And both men thinking the same thing. Both men knowing each other so well. Double clothesline puts both men down. This has been an incredibly back and forth match between these two men. And if neither man can answer the 10 count, we will end on a double count out here on PowerSlam. This crowd really rallying for Dewey. You hear some calls, though, for Travis. Copeland back up. Robson back up. Big forearm shot to the side of the face. And Copeland answers in kind. Another forearm shot. Copeland, oh my God! These two men, two good friends, willing to leave it all in the ring. Copeland looking for the twist of fate. Dewey with the reverse into that corn shucker. Into the corn shucker. Is that going to be enough? 1, 2, no! Not enough here on PowerSlam to put the challenger down. THC, one of the toughest men I have ever stepped into the ring with. A man that I will never see eye to eye with on a personal level, but one of the toughest men I have ever faced anywhere in the world in the form of THC. Dewey now measuring his opponent, hopping up to the second rope. Not what I would do here. Looks for the elbow. Nobody home. Dewey perhaps sensing that he wasn't going to be able to get all of it, didn't get the full height, and I think that is going to be in Dewey's favor here. Not as much damage taken, missing the elbow. Both men, though, slowly getting back to their feet. THC with the shot, but you see him shaking out the shoulder after every strike he throws. Copeland with the Irish whip, reversed by Dewey, puts him hard into the corner. Dewey looking for something. Copeland gets the boot up, and Copeland with the second rope blockbuster. Again, both men down. Copeland able to roll into a cover. You saw all of Copeland's weight on one shoulder, almost none of the weight on the other shoulder, and that's the shoulder that Dewey was able to get off the mat. I have to feel that if Copeland had been able to get his weight across both shoulders evenly, we'd be looking at a new PPW Cruiserweight Champion here in Nanton on PowerSlamTV. Puts the point of the elbow into the side of the head, a move I've used multiple times. Dewey, though, fighting back. Dewey with shots to the midsection. And a big shot to the side of the face. Dewey beginning to rally now. Shots here, stomps to the midsection, boots to the midsection. Dewey with the Irish whip. Puts Copeland down. Big running drop kick. Right under the jaw of Travis Copeland. Dewey, though, he's feeling it. He is slow to make the cover, giving THC just enough time to recover and kick out from that flying drop kick. Both men have had excellent opportunities here. Neither man able to capitalize and win the match. Slowly getting back to their feet. Dewey now hoisting THC up on the shoulder. What's Dewey thinking? Fireman's carry into a neck breaker. That has to be everything. That's got to be all. You see THC holding his neck, but still able to power that shoulder off the mat. I have to question just how much rust THC really has. This is only his second singles encounter since, as I said, suffering a nearly career-ending shoulder injury just under a year ago. Irish whip reverse, ducks the clothesline, not able to duck the drop kick. THC caught him on the way back, hooks the leg, lateral press only 2. Each one of these pinfall attempts coming closer to winning the match. THC, what's he doing? Is he thinking 420 splash?
Let's go.
Oh, I think first he's thinking twist of fate. Dewey, though, shoves him off into the corner. O'Connor roll! Perfectly executed O'Connor roll. And Dewey Robson with the 3 count and the successful defense of the PPW Cruiserweight Championship. Dewey Robson, successful defense of the PPW Cruiserweight Championship here on PowerSlam. But you see a frustrated, in the corner of your screen here, a frustrated THC. The handshake, the show of respect. But that is not what I saw. That's not what I saw initially. I saw a frustrated Travis Copeland. Just his first singles outing in nearly a year and unable to pick up the win here. That's got to be frustrating. That's got to be stressful. But still, your PPW Cruiserweight Champion, Dewey Robson. And as I said, PPW back in action live next week, Friday, May 20th in Tabor, Saturday, May 21st in Lethbridge. All tickets and information at purepowerwrestling.ca. Thank you for joining me tonight on Shaw Spotlight. We'll see you next week.